So this is the front of my Unported 179. That's the bed platform. But I believe that the bed platform is not supporting well enough and it's pushing on that outer wall, popping it forward, causing it to separate at the corners outside. So let's get this tore apart and get underneath here and take a look at the frame and where it's broken up front. Next time you get a chance and you're messing with your pump system, go ahead and screw this filter off and clean it out because it was pretty full of junk. So there's the cap off the pump, the filter. When I took it apart, you had all this kind of stuff that was hiding out inside there. Plastic pieces, just some different calcium buildup. That was all inside here. I think that was part of what was causing my pump issues. I didn't always want to pump. So there's the whole bed area of my Unported. You got the furnace and hot water heater, plumbing for the water system, and the pumps over there. So you've probably been in here messing with all your connections by taking this panel apart, crawling underneath to get to the valves to do your winterization. There's this one here, going to this one. You got one, they're upside down. I don't know why they installed these things upside down. One down here. So I'm standing in the storage area where the outside door is to get into your outside storage compartment underneath the bed. So the problem is, as you can see, here's my truck jack I was using to support the bed, because the distance from where it's mounted to the wall to where I had that is about 7 inches. So all this out here is not supported, and it's screwed into the wall, which is not really structurally supportive either. So what was happening is this was jiggling up and down while I'm going down the road, and it kept cutting grooves into the wall and pushing the wall out. So that's what part of the disassembling of my outer wall was, that weight being forced on the outer wall like this. So what I need to do is put some support underneath here, come up to these two beams to give more lift. And I don't think I'm going to reattach this wall because this is just not load carrying kind of a wall. So you can see here on the wall where they had the screws in and where it's dug gouges into the wall from where the screws were mounted into the wall. It's just not, there's just no structural support there. The other thing is, if you notice the wood they use, it's not that great of a piece of wood, right? Held together with these large staples. And even the wood they use, lots of knots. And here it's even broken, chipped apart. So these staples they use, kind of dumb, I guess. They're just trying to make them fast and light, right? The downside to trying to keep a travel trailer as light as possible is using really flimsy pieces of wood. Even over in this area, you can see how thin that wood is. And then this piece over here is even smaller, but it's going against this wall. And this wall is a little sturdier probably than that wall. But yeah. And over in this corner, it's not even a solid piece of wood that flashing goes against. And the nails separate here. So I gotta do some work on this. Square that off. Now since this is the outside storage area from the door, there's this piece here, but it's just so nothing gets further back here where you can't reach it, and to protect the pump and the hot water heater from anything getting over on this side. So I'm going to have to put a board here, so I'm using more of the floor as support for the bed instead of this dumb idea of the wall. So I think that's going to be the solution here. So I pulled all the screws out that were into this wall. As you can see, most of the tips are all broken off. So yeah, not using any of these. And I don't want to go back into this wall anyway. I think there's a better way to do this. I'm going to put a brace straight down to the floor here. That means I'm 9.5 inches of overhang so I can support this center piece. So Eh, crazy, crazy. And in the end, it doesn't really matter. Because once I put the mattress on here and I'm laying on the mattress, any little variations that's not completely level, I'm not going to notice it in the mattress. And on top of that, the R-Pod, I can't always get it perfectly leveled anyway. So I'm never going to be completely level to the ground, even if I try. Just too many variables. Alright, let's cut some wood. If I can get out of here.
You're the air I breathe.
So put a brace there, running across the floor for the horizontal spreading of the weight going straight down through these legs. 1 there, 2, 3, and 4. Now because of where the pump's located, my horizontal board, I had to kind of angle it so it's not completely straight in there. So I just gotta tack these together, tack that one, and now I finally have enough support coming down instead of trying to go into this wall, because from going from here all the way out to there is stupid if you think you're going to get anchored on that wall. Now because this board's in here though, I do eat up some of my storage area. Not much. And actually it'll probably make it easier when I stick long things on this side to keep them out of the way. Who knows? But this now has much more support going down, and now I don't have to worry about destroying the wall the way it was mounted before, trying to get support from this wall. So the issue I think I'm going to have now is how do I go have to drill through this, otherwise I run the risk of splitting this board. So I can get into this one. The same problem here. And I'm going to come up with some solution on how I'm going to mount this board, because I can't get a hammer and nail through here very easily without splitting this, so I have to drill it. But that I can't get it drilled down with the wall here. More problems need solved. So now that I put these 2 legs in, going vertically down, the horizontal piece, I'm a little leery about drilling holes into the floor, but it's pretty jammed in there pretty tight. And these 2 support legs are screwed in to these boards, so they're not moving. That one over there is jammed in there tight, and this one is fairly tight. It's a little loose, but I just need to provide additional support. So I think that's going to do for most of this, but one more thing I think I want to do though. This board over here is pretty snug, but this one wobbles a lot. It's kind of a knotty wood anyway. It's so much longer in this section, whereas this one over here is pretty tight. This is all tight. So this is all good and strong, but unfortunately, while moving around, man, I created more problem. While moving around, I put too much weight on this one and I just broke this one. So I just made more work for myself. So I'm gonna replace this one now that I broke it. That sucks. But this long piece here, I'm gonna put another brace through here like this one is. And I think that might be it. Come across here. This middle section is too wide. And replace the board I just broke. 2 steps forward, 1 step to the rear. Before I did the modification here, from here, this board was the last vertical support all the way out to here to the wall, except for the wall. The wall is not a good vertical support. So now I put a horizontal brace so that the vertical forces going down get spread out horizontally instead of going straight into one spot on the floor. I've increased the strength here. Now this is moving. This is tight. This is tight. This part though, it's just too long. I could possibly put another board this way to stop some of that flexing. But when you consider I had that much space that was doing this kind of thing, and now I only have like 7-9 inches, and it's all tight. So now I definitely have some more support for the bed. And I want to put the 2 sheets of wood in here. Yeah, this is way beefier than it was to support the weight of the bed. So let's go ahead and wrap this thing up and clean it up, put the boards back down, put the bed back in, call it done. So this area here, there was a board here, that's the one I broke. So now I put this board in its place. It's not really a good spot here to mount, and I don't have that staple system that they've got, so I put weird screws at all sorts of angles. But I think once I put the boards in here, the plywood boards that go down, I'm not really putting weight down here. It's all going right here anyway for my body weight. So this would just be my feet on this end anyway. And even if I flipped it around, it would just be my head. So I'm not too worried about here. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think that's going to be fine. But I still got all this strong support here. And this is still attached pretty strongly to this wall. And I don't want to put much weight on that wall anyway. So I think it's okay, but I mean, only real good solution here is if I put vertical support here, but it'd be right in the middle of my doorway. That ain't gonna work. So I think it's gonna be fine. So all this is gonna be holding the weight down. The whole nice and tight now. Like a glove. Alright. One project down. Gotta put the flashing back up on the board here. Do work on outside walls. This ottoman's moved again. Alright. Progress. How did they do this? Did they measure it at all, or just stuck it in here and was it, meh, good enough?